So, I mean, relative, you talk about group strategy. There's different ways to manifest group strategy, and violence is an extremely good strategy. So, in the U.S., you're really, so to say, American blacks, largely through violence, took over American cities decades ago in the 60s. We had Detroit, if you call the race riots, but if you're Detroit, you call it the revolution. And to some extent, the revolution, the blacks won. And since then, Detroit has been a black controlled city. Obviously, there's corporations.
It's kind of a weird way to.
Well, I mean, there's still different issues at hand, but when you come to America, you move to any of the major cities along the East Coast. The integration to some extent failed. However, then you have white flight, and it's similar in France. Like I said, when you go to Paris, there's not, so to say, French ethnic people. French ethnic people are already the minority, and you have a certain battle for control.
I think
different people use strategies. I'm saying violence is always a very good strategy that could be used in different circumstances in different locations.
I think you got to be more specific when you're speaking there, because it's kind of like if you go to New York, are you talking about what you're seeing in like Manhattan or in those central boroughs, or like the outer as you spread out? Like when you're talking in France, it's not true to say that like French people are the minority in Paris. Maybe if you go into like the 18th arrondissement, like the 19th, maybe in the 13th.
How do you define French?
I mean, no, I'm saying literally like take the most stereotypical baguette with a beret and all that. If you go in so many arrondissements, you'll see that there.
Well, it's segregated.
It's kind of like See,
there might be a handful of urbanized, gentrified, integrated areas, but most of Paris is segregated and divided per ethnicity.
Why don't you see it as social class? Immigration is still replacing social class. These are poor neighbors, and the ethnic French are not so poor anymore. So the new poor ones are coming from the outside. This is social class. This is not not integration.
It used to be wealthy people lived in cities, so generally, like in Paris,
and they live in cities. They live in which neighborhoods?
You can't say that in Paris. Cities. Paris used to have farms inside. Like if you look at the 15th arrondissement and so many different parts of Paris, like you go back 80 years and these places were empty. Wealthy people lived further out with more space. There's always been an interplay of people coming into cities for the excitement, and then like sometimes moving away to have more space. Sometimes cities are the place where all the poor people live in like Oliver Twist tenement style or something. And then other times cities are the happening place where the rich people go to play. So I think that's something that, and especially for France, we're now in a situation where rich people flood into the cities and fill up all these spaces in Paris that weren't, that were quite empty like 80 years ago when you see like photos of it and see like farms just on the outskirts of Paris.
Well, just make just to stress the one point.
Someone is being accused to be racist.
Into multiculturalism, like there's a handful of immigrants that will go to historically what would have been like an ethnic France from hundreds of years ago, but the vast majority of people, when they come, they're already integrating into a form of multiculturalism. They're already moving into a neighborhood that is represented by people like them from where they came.
Oh yeah. Oh my. So a fake production. How do you think about this?